Today we are diving into the thrilling world of unwritten rules of air travel. We have compiled a list of 13 essential unwritten rules that you are going to want to know. So fasten your seatbelts as we dive into these unspoken guidelines. From boarding etiquette to armrest etiquette, we have all the unwritten rules you need to know, especially rule number 12, for which few travelers have not broken. These unwritten rules can save you from awkward encounters, make your flight a more comfortable experience, and ensure a smooth journey for everyone on board. So let's get started. Unwritten rule number 1, boarding etiquette. It is customary to wait your turn to board the plane. They have designated boarding zones for a reason, so make sure you stick within that boarding zone. Oftentimes, people will get out of order, creating unnecessary congestion and slowing the process for everybody. Unwritten rule number 2, overhead bin space. As we know, this space is limited on every single plane. So reserving the overhead bin space for bigger carry-ons and suitcases and keeping your personal items and backpacks either underneath the seat or with you is really important so that everyone has a great experience. We all know it's super frustrating to find bin space overhead, and when somebody has their jacket in the way or small backpack, it just creates for an unsavory experience for everybody. So think of others when you're putting your bag in the overhead bin, and make sure you're not putting any small items up there, as you can keep those with yourself. Unwritten rule number 3, sit in your assigned seat. Come on people, I can't believe I even have to mention this one. But I do because I see it so often. You have an assigned seat for a reason. If you're not sitting in your assigned seat, all it does is create congestion and confusion for everybody. I understand that you might be in a middle seat and you want a window seat, but keep in mind that some people pay for their seats. It's very strategic that one person might have a window seat and you don't. So just keep that in mind when you decide to change seats. Also, just because a seat is open doesn't mean it's open. What I mean by this is a lot of times I see people start moving around before the plane is even done boarding. That person maybe just hasn't gotten on the plane yet. If you do need to change a seat for a specific reason, I would touch base with people at the front desk before you get on the plane or the flight attendant to make sure the seat move is okay, right? You don't want to be taking somebody's seat for all the previous reasons that I stated. Unwritten rule number 4, armrest etiquette. Now, this can be a point of contention for a lot of people, especially if you're sitting next to somebody you don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and set the rule super clear for you and super straight. The middle seat gets 2 armrests. And I think we can all understand that the middle seat still sucks. But as a little token of their respect for sacrificing their body and space, we're gonna give them 2 armrests. The middle seat has access to both of the armrests. That is the proper etiquette for armrests on a plane, and I think oftentimes people don't really realize that, but if you're in the middle seat, get those armrests because you deserve them. Unwritten rule number 5, understanding the role of your seat. Now, this is most clearly conceptualized with the exit row. Those seats have a specific role assigned to them, but more unclearly is the aisle seats, for example. There's a specific role that comes with an aisle seat, and that is going to be sacrificing yourself when somebody in your row needs to get up or use the bathroom, right? Getting up when they return is going to be important to make sure that everybody has a smooth flying experience. So understanding the role of each seat is very, very important, and it's definitely something that is unwritten but expected of you as a traveler. Unwritten rule number 6. Keep your shoes on, people. Ain't nobody want to smell your stinky feet. I know this seems like, again, maybe like an obvious one, but this is something I've for sure seen. The only maybe okay time to take off your shoes is if you're on a long international flight, for which then you are also keeping your socks on or putting on those cool little slippers that they give. Please do not go barefoot. For the safety of everyone in the plane, as well as yourself, the plane is dirty, your feet are stinky. Do everyone a favor, keep your shoes on. Unwritten rule number 7, don't bring your own food on the plane. And I'm not talking about snacks, I'm talking about like meals, specifically hot meals. Alright, nobody wants to smell your McDonald's burger or your slice of Domino's pizza. leave those foods off the plane. If you want to bring snacks on the plane, that's totally fine, but just be conscious of what you're bringing on the plane. A lot of people are super sensitive to smells, as well as they might have specific allergies. So try to keep like fugly cheeses and smelly foods just off the plane. All right, we're about halfway through our unwritten rules, and I want to hear from you. Is there any unwritten rules that you feel should be added to this list? We all want to be better travelers, and we all want to learn from each other. So throw them down in the comments if you have an unwritten rule that you feel like is very important for people to know. Also, if you found this video valuable so far, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Unwritten rule number 8. Maintaining basic hygiene practices. Now this kind of goes along with what we've just talked about with various smells and keeping your shoes on. But we all want to travel in a clean environment, not only by the things that surround us, but the people that surround us. So making sure you're taking care of yourself, a nice clean shower maybe before a travel day. Also avoid excessive perfumes, clean clothes. All those things matter when you're sitting right next to somebody. So practicing good hygiene, like for example, covering your coughs or sneezes. Those are all good things to be doing to respect your fellow travelers. Unwritten rule number 9. Clear the path for the flight attendants. I think we can all understand that being a flight attendant is a hard job. And as travelers, it's not our job to make it harder. Our job is to clear the path so that the flight attendants can do their job more efficiently and effectively. One example of this would be when the flight attendants are coming down the lane with the beverage cart, refrain from getting up during that period of time. That way they can service everybody much quicker and easier, and everybody has a better experience. Unwritten rule number 10. Keeping your window shade shut at night. Now, I understand this might be more of a specific unwritten rule for me, or maybe just one of my pet peeves, but understanding if you have a red-eye flight or a long international flight where you are trying to get some sleep, even if you are the person in the window seat and you are not sleeping, pay close attention to those around you that are maybe trying to get some sleep, because we all know it's super frustrating when you're trying to get some shut-eye and there's lights coming in from every direction. So, pay close attention to your surroundings. As a general rule of thumb, if it's nighttime or you're trying to get some rest, shut that window shade. Unwritten rule number 11, keep quiet. I said that kind of aggressively, but keep quiet. I mean, I feel like this is one that is, again, super simple, but is one that people don't understand sometimes. I get it, sometimes people just talk louder than other people. It's totally fine, but understand that when you're on a plane, bringing your volume down of your conversations is going to be beneficial for everybody. And even more importantly, when you're watching a movie or playing on your phone, make sure you have headphones in. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to people play TikToks or Instagram Reels out loud. People don't want to hear conversations, and people don't want to hear what's going on in your phone. Do your best to keep to yourself and put those headphones in. Unwritten rule number 12. And probably my biggest pet peeve when it comes to air travel, and that is exiting the plane. For whatever reason, as a society, we have not figured out this process. I've yet to be on a flight where this process goes how it's supposed to, which is kind of funny because I feel like everybody knows what the process is, but nobody does it or executes on it. We've all been on flights where you land and right away, 50% of the plane stands up. Now, what people don't understand, by doing that, you are creating congestion and slowing the process down for everybody. How this process should go is that when the row in front of you leaves and is off the plane, then that is your signal to then stand up and grab your baggage. Well, what happens is most people stand up right away and people are trying to get baggage. They're creating log jams in the aisle. I feel like we've all been in situations where you're trying to get out from the window seat and somebody's standing in front of your bag that's in the overhead bin, and you're reaching over people. This would all be solved if we could all get on the same page with not standing up until your row is ready to get off the plane. But people, we have not figured this out. And if any of you know why, please put it in the comments. Or if any of you share this frustration that I have, please let me know in the comments, because this frustrates me so much. And I feel like it's such an easy solve, but we cannot all get on the same page. Now, I will say I do understand if you have a quick connecting flight and you need to rush off the plane. But let me tell you how that should be handled. You should handle that by speaking to the flight attendant and the people in your row and coordinating in advance that you are going to get off first. It should not just be everybody a free-for-all trying to get off as quick as you can, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's not faster. You getting 3 people ahead in line is maybe going to get you off the plane 1 or 2 seconds faster. So hopefully as time progresses, maybe we'll figure this out. I don't know. But anyway, unwritten rule number 13. You are not the priority. Yeah, you are not the priority. Adopting even a fraction of this mindset, I feel like would create an environment where we're all a little bit more patient and a little less stressed when we're traveling. Let's be real, we all have the same goal in mind when we're traveling, and that is to get to our destination safe, efficient, and comfortably. And you feeling that you deserve a treatment over somebody else, I feel like just makes that process a little bit more clunky. Understanding that if you don't have your drink yet or you haven't been served your drink, there's probably also other people that haven't been served their drink. If your monitor or your movies aren't working, understand that you're not the first person in the world that this has ever happened to. It's going to allow you to go with the flow more and maybe take a little piece of humble pie. And to be honest with you, I feel like that's a good thing when traveling. That way we have a little bit more community and a little bit more teamsmanship when traveling, so that way everybody has a great experience. Now, if you want to continue on in your journey to become an expert traveler, I would suggest watching my other video about mistakes to avoid in the TSA line. I can promise you, if you watch that video, you're going to be getting through that TSA security line with ease. It's going to be a breeze. You're going to be the coolest traveler out there. So give that video a watch. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content like this. We will see you in the next one.